Pastor Ed here with Daily Devotions for Saturday, October the 7th, 2023. We're going to be wrapping up our whole look at that Life Keys book and what these life keys are and can mean in the walk of faith. Today's devotion, we're going to begin sort of a final note of encouragement, and then we'll conclude on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and I'll have more to say about that on Tuesday. The reading for today is 1 Samuel 16, verses 1 through 13. The Lord said to Samuel, "How long will you grieve over Saul? I have rejected him from being king over Israel. Fill your horn with oil and set out. I will send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided for myself a king among his sons." And Samuel said, "How can I go? If Saul hears of it, he will kill me." And the Lord said, "Well, take a heifer with you and say, I've come to sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I'll show you what you shall do, and you shall anoint for me the one whom I name to you." Samuel did what the Lord commanded, came to Bethlehem. The elders of the city came to meet him trembling and said, "Do you come peaceably?" And he said, "Peaceably, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. Sanctify yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice." And he sanctified Jesse and his sons and invited them to the sacrifice. When they came, he looked on Eliab and thought, "Surely the Lord's anointed is now before me." But the Lord said to Samuel, "Do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord does not see as mortals see. They look on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." And then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel. He said, "Neither has the Lord chosen this one." Then Jesse made Shammah pass by, and he said, "Neither has the Lord chosen this one." Jesse made 7 of his sons pass before Samuel, and Samuel said to Jesse, "The Lord has not chosen any of these." And Samuel said to Jesse, "Are all your sons here?" And he said, "There remains yet the youngest, but he's keeping the sheep." And Samuel said to Jesse, "Send and bring him, for we will not sit down until he comes here." He sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and had beautiful eyes and was handsome. And the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him, for this is the one." And then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon David from that day forward. And Samuel then set out and went to Ramah. Bill Hull, in his book Jesus Christ Disciple Maker, writes that there's nothing quite as exhilarating as getting out of bed in the morning, going back into the world and knowing why. Enthusiasm is derived from the certainty that I was born, for this I was born, and I'm doing it. It's thrilling knowledge that I am fulfilling God's intended purpose for me. We are inundated each and every day with endless messages that seek to inform us that true fulfillment in this life comes only from the things we possess. Advertisements of all types create the illusion that the only way that we can be satisfied is if we have the right body or purchase the right car, own the right home, wear the right clothes, acquire the right job or career, network with the right people, and accumulate the right financial assets. Desire or achieve anything less, and you're a loser, or so we're told. And yet, ironically, despite the fact that we are the richest society in the history of this planet, that we have a higher standard of living than any people who have ever existed, and that most of us enjoy a lifestyle that kings and queens of the past never even dreamed of, we are still not satisfied. For the most part, we are a society of unhappy people, rich in things, but poor in spirit. And at the very same time that those TV ads literally gush over all the material possessions they say that we need in order to achieve lasting happiness and contentment, they're also trying to sell us countless medicines and drugs to help us with our depression and anxiety. Something is terribly wrong with that picture. Of course, one of the critical insights that we've hopefully discovered in the Life Keys program over the past several weeks is that true and lasting fulfillment does not ever come from our possessions or achievements, but rather only from discerning who we really are and where God has called us to be. In his book, Doing Church as Team, Pastor Wayne Cordero puts it this way: each of us is like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Every piece has its place in God's plan. No one piece is optional. How frustrating it would be to put together a 3,000-piece puzzle only to find one of the pieces missing at the end. Well, that's how God sees us. Every piece is incredibly important. Everyone is necessary to complete the divine puzzle. Pastor Cordero goes on to say, how do we find our place in God's plan? Will it come easily? Where do we start? As with any puzzle, each piece doesn't smoothly fall into place on the first attempt, he writes. It usually takes several tries in order to find the right fit. You turn the piece this way and that and set it aside, try a few others, then you try it again. If a piece doesn't fit on the first go-around, you don't toss the rebellious piece into the trash. No, you keep it because you know that every piece is a perfect fit somewhere. But I'm just one piece, you might rationalize. They can do without me. Why, there are 2,999 other pieces. I'm just one insignificant piece. They'll never miss me. Don't you ever think that way, writes Cordero. You are vital to the success of God's mission. In today's reading, we had the story of the anointing of David. The prophet Samuel was directed by God to select the next king of Israel from among the sons of Jesse the Bethlehemite. And so Samuel offered a sacrifice to the Lord and invited Jesse and his sons to attend. And as each son passed by, 7 altogether, Samuel wondered if this was the one, but none of them were. And so Samuel asked Jesse if he had any more sons, and Jesse replied that his youngest was out tending the sheep. And Samuel then asked Jesse to send for him. It was David. And when Samuel saw him, the Lord finally said, "Rise up and anoint him, for this is the one." Now David, from what we can gather by reading between the lines, was something of an unlikely choice. In fact, when his brother Eliab had earlier walked by, even Samuel thought to himself, surely this is the one. But God said to Samuel regarding Eliab, "Do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him." And then here's the key phrase: "For the Lord does not see as mortals see. They look on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." Did you know that Albert Einstein could not speak until he was 4 years old and did not read until he was 7? His parents and teachers worried about his mental ability. But the Lord does not see as mortals see. Did you know that Beethoven's music teacher said about him as a composer, he's hopeless? Or that Thomas Edison's teacher said he was too stupid to learn anything? Or that Auguste Rodin, the greatest sculptor of the 19th century and the creator of The Thinker, was one of the world's most recognizable sculptures, had so much difficulty learning to read and write that his father is reported to have said of him, "I have an idiot for a son." But the Lord does not see as mortals see. Did you know that Walt Disney, the great imagination behind Mickey Mouse and Snow White and a host of other fictional characters, was once fired because someone thought that he didn't have any good ideas? Or that Enrico Caruso, who had one of the most brilliant voices in the history of music, was told by one music teacher, "You can't sing, you have no voice at all." Or that an editor told Louisa May Alcott, the author of Little Women, that she was incapable of writing anything that would have popular appeal. They look on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. Each of us, again, is like a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. Every piece has its place in God's plan, but this also means that each piece is not the same. Each piece has a different shape, and each piece fits in a different place. Well, we're going to stop there and pick it up again next week on Tuesday. So, hope you have a great weekend. Hope that we see you in church on Sunday, or if you're not able to be here in person or even watch the live stream, that you watch the recording sometime during the week next week, and I'll be back with you on Tuesday. Until then, take care. Bye.